It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
With 24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel credit, stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.
What is up, guys? I'm Dusty Grant, the host of the DG and Friends podcast. I'm excited to take this ride with you as I get to know interesting folks from all walks of life and pick their brains about their journey. I'd like to sincerely thank you for tuning in. DG and Friends starts now. What is up, everybody? DG and Friends, episode number 12. Guys, if you're tuning in live on Twitch, I'd like to thank you for tuning in this evening. Feel free to ask questions, get involved in the comments. Your participation can dictate the action of the show. I will pin comments. Me and Damaris will be chatting, and we haven't actually sat down in person and ever had a conversation. However, we do play gigs in the same area, and we know a lot of the same people. So it was only a natural fit to have you come on. Without further ado, Damaris, how are you this evening? What's going on today?
Hey, doing pretty good. Thank you for having me on your show. Been checking it out and liking it.
That's good, man. I've noticed it. Podcasting is a lot like being an independent musician. It is a thing that you have to do it, and you have to grind, and you have to get them one by one. You know, you do these things, and you expect there's going to be like this big grandiose response to it, and it's like, no, you have to get it in people's ears. You have to keep going, keep grinding, hitting different audiences, trying different things. And so I've been doing a lot of that with this, but it's been awesome. It's been a great networking, a great platform for networking, and it's been a great way to still communicate with my fellow artists out there, because we're not out doing what we normally do. So it's been exciting. What have you been doing?
Well, kind of the same stuff. I mean, I think I've been following you for a couple of years and reaching out to you and trying to figure out things. And so I think I've been learning a lot from you. I've been watching you over the last 9 months, seeing how you're unfolding and stuff like that. And so just really messing around a lot with digital platforms and trying to, scratch the itch of that creative energy and where does it manifest itself whenever you're not out running around with people and stuff. So, and playing music. So I guess finding out things about myself is good.
Yeah. Are you finding out good things about yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think so. I mean, I know I'm hyperactive and have a lot of energy. So I'm finding out that when I have a lot more time on my hands, I'm finding cool things to do with it. So that's good.
I am experiencing the exact same thing. I'm a busybody. I like to stay busy from the time I wake up till, the 1 hour a day that I give myself to just chill on the couch and watch a TV show and have a drink or whatever. But if I'm not doing that, I like to hit the ground running, and I don't like to stop running.
Absolutely.
And I think hitting the road a little bit, getting off work, throwing my shit in the back of my car, driving to Oklahoma, playing a couple shows, driving home on a Sunday morning, being back in time for breakfast with the kids, and you're like, man, this whirlwind of, I think that satiates that a lot for like busybodies, especially. Yeah. And to not have that outlet, it's been the same thing for me. I'm like, well, what can I learn? What's something what's some wormhole that I can go down?
Okay, well, you've definitely been squirming through all of the ground, because I've seen you building a whole bunch of things, so that's cool. It's Twitch TV. I need to check out those.
Well, I was when I was doing the podcast with Sprout, him and Derek actually told me about Twitch, and I was like, I've heard about it, but I was ignorant to the fact that it wasn't just video games, right? So I set up an account. I started following some people, started watching some streams and video game streams. I even tried to do some video game streaming myself. I'm terrible at it, and I don't have any time to play video games. So it's kind of the time I have. I'd rather be doing this, quite frankly. But this is a great platform to do it on. Twitch actually takes care of the artists. I have opportunities if people are watching the podcast and they like it, they can subscribe. And I actually get a little bit of revenue. It might help me pay my distribution fees for a month.
Oh, that's nice.
So it's the end goal for me kind of exclusively doing the live stream only on Twitch is to try to funnel some traffic here to generate some of those things. So I'm not just coming out of pocket every month to keep doing it, because I do love doing it, but I can't go broke to do it, right. if that makes sense. So,
definitely.
It's a harebrained strategy. I'm glad those guys brought Twitch to my attention, because I was like, I think we should take a go at this. This is a great idea.
It's got a great name.
I've been sticking to it, and it's like, it's so far so good. I like it here. I know I don't get all the Facebook folks over here, but I'm kind of okay with that. Hopefully I'll find some new people on Twitch and slowly but surely grow it organically here, just like you have to grow it organically everywhere else.
Well, I mean, I've listened to a couple of your shows, and I would definitely I get the feel that it's very organic for sure. I mean, everybody that's been on it is obviously in the circles that you run or in the conversations that you'd like to have. So it's been cool listening to it and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad that you decided to come on. I'm glad we started talking and you hit me up. I don't know. I think you hit me up. You're like, when are we going to do it? Or I like it. I'm like, you should come on. However,
I said, would you, cause you're, rocker type. I'm like, would you have an outlaw country girl on there?
Oh yeah. If you
room on your show for outlaw country,
there's tons of room on it for that. I love a lot of that kind of music. And I definitely have not wanted to be like to pigeonhole anything. So like, I don't want it to be like, this is only going to be metal, or this is only going to be this or that. Like whoever it is, if they're an interesting person, let's sit down and chat shit for an hour and see where the conversation goes. Yeah. Are you putting out new music? What's your plan with your music?
Well, I mean, some of the way that extra energy manifested was a lot more writing. So I've done a lot more writing over the last several months, and a couple of the songs I've recorded, a couple more I need to record. And so, I mean, I'm writing. I love it. I went and seen Charlie Crockett last December at Kane's Ballroom, and, he's got some lyric that kind of really inspired me. May your curse become your blessing. And so kind of this year's music's focused on storytelling, a lot more storytelling as opposed to emoting, which is where my music usually comes from, is from pretty emotional area and stuff. So I've kind of had a lot more fun, but a lot more fun because the songs aren't coming from pain. They're coming from celebration of life and interesting stories that have happened throughout the time,
I'm going through the exact same thing.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm having fun. Mm-hmm.
The next single I'm releasing is definitely from like the lowest of the lows, but it's like I had it and I didn't get a chance to record it because I had plans to way earlier in 2020, but obviously studio and all that was out of the question. So I finally got in the studio and I'm like, that song. I went back to it and I had kind of taken a break from it. And then I started preparing myself to get in the studio to record it again. I'm like, I remembered how like hard that song was for me to play. And I'm like, oh man, I'm going to have to track this one and like listen to mixes on this one over.
You are.
And it's like, I kind of wanted to put that one behind me. So I'm releasing that one. But the next one is like a way more happy, like upbeat, you're like you said, a celebration. And it's strange to go from just gloomy as hell to like, you know what, this ain't so bad. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, like when that lyric I'm talking about, may your curse become your blessing. It's me taking those really spicy or black or dark components of my life, but adding humor to it. So the celebration is that perseverance and actually just the really dynamic personalities I've had in my life. My grandma, one of them's called My Yellow Rose of Texas, and my grandma was a honky tonker. And it's just about like the bar life, her getting ready on a Friday night to go out to a bar. But then like on Saturday morning, mascara's all ran and she's flipping tortillas over on the gas stove as I walk in, so like it's that whole like, oh my God, hi, Grandma, kind of thing, So that's kind of the focus. I've done a few songs like that right now.
I've been trying to get into doing some percussion and stuff myself while playing guitar, and like just doing some stomping on the floor and playing with the boys and like trying to dance around a little bit. And man, some of those guys that are doing that, I've got that buddy Randy Ollinger who was on the show last week. He plays bass and and like bass and snare basically with his feet while he's playing slide and singing. Like, how the hell is he doing that? I'd be like, man, I would be, it's enough. For me, it's enough to just play and sing. Do you ever play with a band or anything, or do you mostly play solo acoustic?
I'm only solo. I'm solo. I mean, in the beginning, I thought it might be kind of fun. I knew I needed to practice. I think you probably know I never really did. I've done music. I've played music since I was 20, but I never played music in front of anybody till I was in my 40s. And so I'm just kind of behind the curve catching that. So, band, no, not really any bands were around. And I think it's offered me the time to really just know who I am as a performer and stuff, because I never knew I was a performer. So, and also there's no headache with it. It's only me. If I'm late, it's because of me. And I've been received well. And so I can't imagine right now, like I don't think I would want a band. I feel got my little tower. I've got a couple towers that I can choose from to take around gigging with me. And I kind of like to fly solo, I think.
Yeah, I'm a lone wolf too. I do like to kind of do things my own way at my own pace at the times that I want to do them, and I get a little particular about that. And I think a lot of that might have to do with in my career. I have to do what I have to do when they tell me to. Like I feel like I have to jump. I'm in service. I'm in sales. I have to be there for customers when they ask me and all that. And I think so when I get off work and I'm working on a project, I kind of just want something that I can have for myself, because I feel like I've been kind of lending it to people all day long,
right?
Or whatever. So when I do have creative time, but I honestly don't know that I would have I don't know that anyone could be in a band with me with my schedule. I think it would be tough for them.
That's the same with me. Yeah, I have a really super busy schedule, and I just did this when I did it when I felt on a whim. A lot of things were on a whim, so.
So how did you go about it? Like, did you start booking first, or did you record music first, or what spurned you to just fucking take a run at it? Because I had a similar epiphany too. I mean, I feel like already we have a lot in common.
Yeah.
Because I was like, Dusty, if you want to play music, it's gonna have to be solo. You can't. I was in metal bands. I was in metal bands for about 15 to 17 years before I went solo. I've only been playing guitar for about 6 years, but it kind of hit me once the twins were born. I'm like, Dusty, if you want to do music, you're going to have to do it, buddy, because nobody can be in a band with you. You can't expect someone to be in a band with you when you have newborn twins and you're trying to work on material for the studio.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't make it. And then you're not ready. And then everyone gets upset. And it's like, no, so I took the time that I was home to practice guitar and try to write a few songs. And I posted one on Facebook, and a few people liked it. And I was like, you know what? There's no reason I can't take a run at this shit.
Yeah.
There's no reason I can't write a few tunes, record, use my marketing background and use my skill set to, just take a run at making music work for me, for once, instead of me working for it. Because I always felt like I was this slave to the grind or whatever it was. And I always kind of felt like I had to drag people. And so when I get to a situation where I have no one to drag, I can just fly when I want to fly.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, one of my friends was in a band that I went to high school with, and I had moved back to my hometown area here. And so he found out I played guitar. So he talked me into coming and playing one song in between a set. And I was a nervous wreck, and I didn't do it until the very end. And then they turned the lights on in the middle of it. It was like the most traumatizing thing ever. And I'm like, no fucking way. I'm not ever doing this again. No. And so a couple weeks later, he got a hold of me and he's like, hey, we got another gig. Why don't you come back, do it again? And I'm like, okay. And he said, everybody from high school will be there. I was like, oh, like everybody we knew was going to be there. So I'm like, maybe I would be okay with that. So I went and I played, and everybody was super sweet, and they pulled out their lighters for me. And I know they were just being sweet, but I thought, okay, maybe he goes, now go back and learn. What did he say? Go back and learn 30 songs without a stand and think about it, you know? And so that's kind of what was happening there. And I was doing covers, and I did that for a long time, for the 6 years, only about 3 times a year. Not like I was gigging. I wasn't gigging. I was just like, no, I wasn't leaving my hometown. I was only just with all my friends. So no.
Gotcha.
But what happened is I put the album out first, and I put the album out for my kids because they grew up and I wanted them to have a piece of their mom. And I had no intention of performing my music after that either. It's just for them to have like this little document they could take with them when they left into the world. And that came out in April, and in May, the Kansas State Fair got it, and they booked me. So then I thought, oh shit.
Nice. You thought you were a fucking American Idol then.
I know. I was like, no, you know. No, I was like, I'm going to be terrible. Oh my God. No.
Shitting a brick. Yeah.
I'm like, how many months do I have? They're like September. I'm like, June, July, 4 months. I said, okay. Yeah, I'll do it.
It takes a lot. I mean, it takes a lot. It takes a lot to.
Yeah. So then I start calling everybody. Can I play with you? Can I play with you?
Dude, I like you just have to humble yourself. And the first shows, especially, like, I'm not saying I'm some seasoned veteran, because I'm not. I've only been playing solo gigs since 2017. Mm-hmm. So I'm fairly new to the party. And those first shows that you play, those are some very formative shows. I mean, those show you I got a lot to fucking work on. Like, I got a lot of things that are not nearly as comfortable as I thought they were going to be when I was nonchalantly rehearsing at home.
Right.
I'm like,
dear home, we need a change. We need HomeSense, where one bold piece can change your whole place. Want a new dining set? Chic throw pillows? Game-changing savings mean the answer is yes. HomeSense. This changes everything.
You better get your ass standing up,
no shit,
playing in front of a mirror with a microphone.
I have a mirror.
I mean, I don't care if anyone knows it. I mean, I don't care if anyone knows. I like to practice my stuff and try to make it as polished as I can. And it's just what I like. It's the path that I like to take. I know there's some guys that can sit down and just shred. I'm not one of those guys. Yeah. I have to fucking work at it. So
I'll tell you. Yeah. The first time that I played my original music, like a whole set of my original music in front of anybody, was a Wichita Story. And it was Kirby's. And there were a whole bunch of bluegrassers. The bluegrassers have been so sweet to me, even though that's not really, I don't quite fit into the type of style that they play, but they've taken me under their wing, and I appreciate it. So, we were on one of them is from here where I'm from. And so we're going over to Wichita, and I wear this t-shirt. This is Badass Woman on it.
Yeah.
And you've seen it. And so as I get to about El Dorado, I start having a panic attack. So I'm like, why did I wear this shirt? I'm going to get in front of everybody. You know, I have no idea. He's like, calm down, just own the shirt. Like the dumbest reason for me to freak out. But, I get there, and I am the only one by myself. They're all in these big bands, you know, and I'm just up there and I'm playing. And you know how big Kirby's is, right?
Yeah.
It's big.
Yeah. Yeah. There's nowhere to hide at Kirby's.
Yeah. So like the person I'm on stage, and the person that's in the front row is like right there, you know. But anyway, a lot of people came up afterwards and said they liked my music. So I'm like, okay, well, I was shaking in my boots. I was trembling. I did, you know, we did some pretty cool shit in the metal band that I was here in Wichita. You know, we played some shows with some big bands and stuff and played to some pretty big crowds, but I was only fronting the band. You know, I was just singing. I didn't have to worry about playing guitar or anything. I was just singing.
And I could run around and jump and fucking jump off shit and just go, just go crazy. And
I should put that in my show.
I never felt nerve. I mean, I was always nervous, of course, but I never felt nerves like I felt with the solo thing. And I think that's part of what drives me towards the solo thing, is because I feel like it's the best thing I can do in the most efficient manner to push myself and test myself and do all that, because there's nowhere to fucking hide when you're sitting there with an acoustic guitar, and that's it. My recordings are polished, of course, and the production and all that. But if you come see me, you're going to come see me, and that's what you get. And I can't, it's so strange. It's like, because based on how you feel, sometimes it doesn't dictate your performance. Some of my best performances are when I feel my worst.
Oh yeah.
And some of the ones I'm like, I'm going to crush tonight. I go out there and I can't fucking even remember a lyric. You know what I mean?
My God.
You get too big for your britches, and then the whole time you're playing, you're like, you got cocky. You didn't practice this week, and look what happened. Look what happened. And it's this.
That's the universe bringing you back. That's your universe bringing you back to the balance of humility and pride or ego.
Yeah. And the more it happens to you, the more you realize, like, there's no hiding from this. I have to work at it. I'm going to have to continue to rehearse my songs, even if I'm not gigging, because you might get offered something at some time, and you might need to just be ready. And you can't just get ready in 1 week. You can't. Maybe some people can, but I don't have enough time. I have an hour a day to practice, whether my show's 3 weeks away or 1 week away. I have an hour a day. I can't put in extra hours if it's shorter time. I still have that limited amount of time. So it's like, I got to stay on it or it can fall apart. And I'm like, that was kind of nice not sitting down and practicing that shit yesterday. I think I might do that again today. And then you're 3 days in a row not playing, and you're like, my fingers are burnt. Oh,
I know. Why's my toes peeling?
Yeah.
Yeah. I play a lot. That's you can't quite see, but like, that's my music room right there. So it's as big as my living room, another room. And I got my guitars and my towers and couple mics and an organ in there. Oh, tambourine,
Yeah. So do you have people over to jam?
That was my goal, but I just don't really know a lot of people. I live in a small town, and my daughter just moved away to college, so that's kind of what I'm doing now. I mean, I've already had people over jamming with me, so it's and I've got plenty of chords and stuff. So no, just bring yourself, really, and your instrument of choice if you want. But I've got.
So where are you near? Like, where are you located right now?
Well, I'm 2 hours east of Wichita.
Okay.
2 hours north of Tulsa, south of Kansas City, west of Joplin. We're like right smack in the middle of everywhere. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So you're actually in a pretty decent pipeline to hit the road and do weekenders. There's a lot of weekender circuits you can do from that area. Like, that's a good thing about Wichita too, is within 3 hours of here, if you work at it, you can build a nice little circuit of shows, and then slowly but surely start to, spread it out a little bit more. That's what I feel like happened for me. Like, once when I started gigging, when I decided that I needed to practice for the state fair, that's what happened. Like, I've played in Kansas City, Topeka, Wichita, Lawrence, then Oklahoma, or Norman, Oklahoma, and Tulsa, I think, is kind of it. And it's just kind of like back again, and then back again, and back again. And it was kind of almost where I was hitting places like every 2 or 3 months, and almost the perfect time for you to be away from somewhere, but then come back and still soon enough that they remembered your name. And I had people in Lawrence. It was kind of cool. There was a table full of people that had come to see me, and I'd invited a girl that I went to high school with that lives in Lawrence. And so she just happened to walk up and stand at that table, not knowing that everybody was there kind of together. And she's like, "Oh, what are you guys doing?" And they're like, "We came to see Damaris." And she was like, "I thought that was the weirdest thing, because you're like, you guys know Damaris?" They're like, they asked her, "You know Damaris?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know Damaris." How doesn't it make you feel like a badass though when that happens? Like, every once in a while you get lucky. Yeah. And you're like, and somebody's like, my kid really likes one of your songs. Would you sign this for? And I'm like, what? I know.
What?
I love it. And I think that's the beauty of, you know, I don't feel like Wichita's a long ways away. Wichita's been super cool to me. I've been able to play at 2 or 3 of the venues there that every one of them that I asked to, you know.
All right, Damaris, you got questions coming in. What is the first place you want to play once we can gather again? Where's your favorite place to gig?
Well, I have to say in her living room because she plays accordion, and I'm trying to get her to play with me. But I know that woman.
Did she do accordion on? Did I hear accordion on one of your recordings?
Yeah, my Yellow Rose of Texas, but that's not her. But she's going to someday.
Gotcha.
She's probably blushing right now. Where's your picture, girl?
She
you had an opportunity to look super cute. I know.
She hasn't had a chance to craft her Twitch profile yet, but we're going to keep her.
That's her name in my phone. Jenny Freebird is her name in my phone because she got divorced.
I think we've all been through similar circumstances.
Freebird, that's your name in my phone, okay?
Like finally.
She has a boyfriend though, but she's not married. So I don't know where's I mean, obviously, like if we're really saying where we're going to gather, and everybody gets to just cram into a spot, I would probably say Caw Valley in Lawrence, just because I do have they care about the singer-songwriters there. I don't want to discount anybody else though. I'm just saying that they really hone in on you and they cultivate a relationship, and we're friends out, you know, and I've played multiple shows there with all kinds of different Lawrence artists and stuff and songwriters. And I deeply appreciate that they offer that kind of space, like a listening, you know, like people are listening, you know, it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for me, it would be the Elbow Room, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's not.
No, the Elbow Room closed. They shut the doors. It's the Rona took its toll. That was probably my favorite venue. I just always had so much fun there because it was the same type of thing.
I always want to play there.
You weren't background music there. You know what I mean? That venue was for music. So if you were there,
looking, I like it. It's gritty and swank, you know, got the couches and area right there, the front area.
Had some amazing times at that place, but you know, the things are what they are. Circumstances are what they are. Mm-hmm. Are you booking or anything? Or you have any ambition to? Or
I do have ambition to. I'm about ready to go crazy. You know, so I'm figuring that. Well, I'm going to play in Oklahoma at the end of this month. I'm going to go. I'm just like, I love the Oklahoma musicians down there. They're really good storytellers about like what's happening in Oklahoma, specifically in the location that you're in. And I love that because I spent about 20 years down there. So I feel like I relate to their music and stuff like that. And you feel like they're like your buddy that you're running around in a pickup truck with. So they're going to do something called Jamming in the Woods, like way out in the middle of like by nothing at all. This town called Agra, and I'm just stoked to go. We'll be outside, so let's see what Mother Nature brings us that night, January 30th.
That is January 30th outdoors.
I can't wait. I got to figure out.
Courageous.
I got me some little like just my fingers poking out gloves, and
I'll be
a big old wussy butt, and I got me an Airbnb.
I'll be hunkered down in the bunker here. I'll be rooting for you while you're out there. I'm releasing a song on the 29th, so I plan to spend the day spamming and then Saturday I'm doing a podcast. So is
your song on the 29th the sad song?
Yeah.
What's the name of it? Through
the Cracks. And it's got have you seen the promo that I did for that?
Is it the one that's up going right now that you're for pre-save?
Well, I did a little teaser video. An unfortunate sir. Did you see that?
Go back, pop it back up again. Yeah, I did.
An unfortunate turn of events cast its spell over this town. They made it super hard for me to promote that.
Why?
Okay. I don't know. I have no fucking idea. Every time I release a song, like I'm like, there's new rules. I'm like, I just learned the goddamn thing on the last one. You know, I had releases where certain stuff like wasn't even online when it was supposed to be because there was too much text on a photo or so. I'm like,
yeah, I have no clue on any. Mine is like, I just fumble through, and then like, okay, the video that I was trying to post, the reason why we're late, it went up of me dancing old hip hop style. Well, Facebook took it down because I used "You Want It" and "You Got It."
Oh, they caught it. They caught it that quick too, didn't they? Within 2 minutes, yeah. Oh yeah, Facebook is watching people. Make no mistake.
There's everything happening in the world that besides taking my dance moves off.
There's so much stuff that they should be removing.
How come TikTok has all this stuff? I guess they bought all of the they probably bought all the music that you can use on it, I guess.
Yeah, and the strange thing is for a complete nerd dinosaur like myself, I've been advised by people to like get on TikTok, and I'm like, you know, first of all, I'm not a 15-year-old girl.
Doesn't matter.
I know.
On there too.
And I'm like, second of all, I would be like dorky dad guy on TikTok.
That's fine. There's tons of them.
And then so just
make sure you hashtag that dorky dad, okay? Then
I made a compromise. I made a compromise because I have platform anxiety. I'm at the point now where I'm so overloaded with managing all the platforms, especially with the podcast now, having to produce and upload shit and put in metadata for episodes and all this stuff. It's like this administrative mind fuck. So
you need
an
intern.
I know I need an intern, but nobody would want to work for me because I would be a horrible boss. I'd be like, get your ass down there. I'd be down there doing that shit.
Drive my numbers up. Get me some engagement.
Yeah, nobody's going to be.
Here's your goal for the end of the week. 50
They're
lines.
going to be like, you think I'm going to do this job for free, bro? Like, peace. I think my intern will last one day. You know,
you kind of come across a little maybe scary. I don't know. Not. Yeah,
I try not to be, but I'm the little bit of time that I do have to do it, I try to do the best I can, and like it intrigues me to poke and prod and to find new things and avenues and weird.
Me too. I like it.
And I, you know, quite frankly, like it's finally to the point where I'm like happy and content, and I'm like, no, you should be happy doing this. If it doesn't happen today, it'll happen tomorrow. If you're overwhelmed, take a freaking day off. Like, why are you making yourself suffer? This is not paying your bills.
You're having fun.
Exactly. And I'm not sitting here whining about, you know, not making, I don't care. I love to do it, and I'm not going to stop doing it. I don't care, you know, but at the same time, I'm not going to like just absolutely suffer and play a show on a Tuesday night for free in Boone, Oklahoma anymore. You know what I mean? Just that type of situation.
It's okay.
So are you you have a show coming up, and are you recording any of your new stuff? Like when you're recording it, are you recording it yourself, or are you going to the studio?
I have a friend that has a little studio down in Independence, and he did my album for me. And then he also did My Yellow Rose of Texas, and I have Outlaw Kids getting ready to come out that he's done. And I am really lame. The only reason, and I just have to give out a shout out to Tim and this young guy, Weston Vines, he's 19 down in Texas, who played the guitar on it. The only thing holding that up is this picture of me when I'm like 6, right? I can't find it. It's me with my Dobermans. I need that picture. That's the art I need that. I want it for my cover art. It's the only thing that's keeping me from uploading it and everything. So I feel pretty lame on that. And I'm about ready to switch gears and say that won't be the cover if I can't find that picture in the next couple days. But I'm recording it. Yeah, I'm going to look a little bit more. It's a cute picture.
You'll regret it. I promise.
I know I will.
You'll put it out and you'll be like,
Dear home, we need a change. A little room evolution. We need HomeSense, where one bold piece can change your whole place. like a leather sofa built for beauty and binge watching. With endless discoveries, I'll always bring you something pretty or cool or pretty cool. You want a new hand-woven rug? Game-changing savings mean the answer is yes. I'm going now because unique is every day. And you never overpay. Love you. HomeSense. This changes everything. Dear home, we need a change. We need HomeSense, where one bold piece can change your whole place. Want a new dining set? Chic throw pillows? Game-changing savings mean the answer is yes. HomeSense. This changes everything.
Like, God damn it, I should have looked for that picture.
I have it all over my Facebook. I have the picture there. So I know it's in this house somewhere. But I'll tell you the one thing that I feel like I grew at this year kind of outside my comfort zone was I connected with Jenna Ray, who's over in Lawrence, and she has Lost Cowgirl Records, but she has these panoramic music videos that they shoot. So I decided that maybe I should shoot a video, and I was really super uncomfortable with that. Same way with this. It's weird to see your face, but it's weird to see that. And but what I liked about how her and Martin shoot is that they're very landscape oriented, and I'm total nature girl. And so that day, I think Mother Nature was like, "Oh, I like your song. I like your song so much that when you sing it, I'm going to blow the wind just right."
Oh, that's wonderful.
Some people in the background, in the pond, floating by in their canoe while I sang. And it was like
Swanland.
It's so beautiful. Yes. So she did a great job, and I made me feel super comfortable. And we did it just in a couple takes, and has one of those big old microphones that pick up, all of it. And it's so that one's called When the Cowgirl Rides Away, and that's the next one that I'll record. But I learned harmonica this year too, so.
Are you going to attempt to play guitar and harmonica?
I can. I learned. I was going to tell you that earlier when you were talking about the stomp box. I can do it. I can do it on 3 songs now, which means I know I could only do it on 1, but now I can do it on 3, which means I know I'm going to do it on 10.
Yeah, that is exceptional. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to I have gear overload too. Like I have enough shit plugged in that I have to worry about right now. And my merch is over there. And I got my little credit card reader thing that I have to keep track of, and my mailing list. Where's my fucking pen? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm afraid to add more shit to the mix. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean adding another instrument? I wasn't planning on doing
anything that complicates the guy. I want to make everything work for me. God damn it!
I know, right? I was like,
why doesn't the world just cooperate with me?
I say that all the time. Why doesn't everybody just listen to me? If you just listen to me, everything will work perfectly.
For you,
for me. Yeah. I wrote that song, Then the Cowgirl Rides Away, and all I could hear was this harmonica. So I had no choice. I had to buy one so that I could see if I could play it. And
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna add anything, but like you talk about the music video, you had great weather. It reminds me when I shot the All Crashed Down video, we were doing an outside thing, and I was like walking on this path playing guitar and like trying to emote, but it was like fucking -10 outside.
Oh no!
And my fingers were like,
no, that wasn't my day.
And I didn't get it like on the first take, and I'm like, if I don't get it on this one, fuck this shot. We're not doing this thing. We're going somewhere else because I am freezing my ass off out here.
That's probably what I'll be on January 30th. But I'll be like, I'm going to try my hardest.
Oh man,
light some fires. How many fires are we going to need to build for this?
When it's cold. I mean, it's hard to play guitar when it's cold outside.
It is. I think I played at Owl Creek Jamboree one year. I remember it was it was probably like 40 degrees, where you would think it's not that bad, but that hurt. That hurt.
Yeah. Even the Shamrock shows on the patio, like right at the end of the summer when it starts to get cool out at night, you're like, fuck, where's my hoodie?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Like, I need to go inside. I'm starting to get old. My blood's thinning. I can't be out here.
That's it. We're old and our blood's thinning.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like, should I book shit and should I start doing things and all this? And I am at this crossroads where I feel like if I was going to do it, now's the time to start jumping on it.
Mhm.
But I'm just reluctant to do so. Are you like, what are you hearing? I mean, you've obviously booked some stuff. I've had very few conversations with, booking people, promoters. I've been offered a couple things that I had to pass on because of personal stuff or whatever. But I haven't really actively been out there booking. And like, I have no clue what the market's like. Have you been out there like actively trying to book at all?
No, I haven't. I just kind of was like, I'm not worried too much about it. I was feeling that my music my creativity was flowing in a way that I was deeply embracing and writing all this music. And so I felt fine sitting in that pocket, and a couple things showed up, along the way. We had a backyard jamboree with a very few, meaning like 20, 30 of us, but we're out in this huge 5-acre, I had a couple opportunities like that I enjoyed, but like I have not actually started trying to book. But I kind of was wondering why I didn't think about that in the fall, where there's some great patios, outdoor patios and stuff. And I didn't capitalize on any of that. One of my good guy buddies up there in Kansas City, he plays out on a patio like all the time. And I thought, I would play on a patio. I probably would feel cool about that and everything. And so I'm probably going to start being a little bit more intentional and looking around. And, Call Valley built a stage out there. So like they got themselves set up to be able to do stuff like that. And I know that there's a place up in Kansas City. It's the pizza place up there's got a big old stage back there.
I've always had for some reason, I've always had a tough time in Kansas City. I had an in there, and it was at the Scene in Kansas City, and we played a couple cool shows there. I opened for John Corabi there, but they ended up closing down, or they stopped booking there or whatever, and the relationship that I had there dissipated. And for some reason, I always struggled to book something, quality in KC. If I could book something there, I was like, all right, you're opening for 6 metal bands at 5:15, and you have 10 minutes and we're not giving you any money. And I'm like,
oh my God.
You're like,
and then as you walk out, we're going to smack you with the door on your way out too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Homie, don't play that shit. I'm not doing that. I'm fucking 39. I'm not doing that.
When I think I've only played there once, maybe twice, maybe, but really the one time that I went was at that North Shawnee pizza place. Well, the Jenna Ray I was talking about earlier with the Lost Cowgirl Records, she was doing a female songwriter showcase, and I just loved what she was doing. So that was kind of in that the Kansas State Fair time found me, and before I performed, and I was like, yeah, I want to do that so bad. So that's really, but I've seen that they've been booking bands up there again, so I'm curious about what's going on up there.
Yeah, I got offered something that I wanted to do pretty badly last night, but I couldn't do it. And I started, when I got offered it, I was like, I kind of got that adrenaline rush. I kind of got that charge, and I'm like, that's one I should take. I had a couple come in that didn't give me that feeling or whatever, but that one I was like, yeah, that one seems.
I think that's how I'll come out, out of my turtle shell too, just like that. I mean, the reason the Oklahoma one seems cool is because there's a lot of musicians. I love that they kind of run around in this, really showcase each other. And so it's like just getting to know a whole group of people really quick that play music. And I like that.
So when you're in Oklahoma, are you spending a lot of time in the Tulsa area?
I lived in Norman for like 15 years, and I lived in off of Grand Lake when I was a little kid, and I was born in Tulsa. So it's really just like all over. Okay. I would say mostly Tulsa, but like Norman, I've spent so much time in Norman, Oklahoma, and I've just kind of blazed a trail back and forth through that area for about 25 years.
OKC was the same way with me. I had a hard time in OKC, but I've always been like shocked at how welcoming Tulsa's been.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Tulsa for sure. Norman would be too. Have you been in Norman? Have you been to the deli and stuff?
Yeah, I haven't. I think I hit those places. I've hit Norman 3 or 4 times, and I honestly think I just might have hit him on bad nights when nobody was out. And I think those were the reasons I got the gigs back then, because I was a nobody and I had no music out and I had no following or anything. I was just like, I just need to cut my teeth and hit the road, and that's what I did. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going to take shitty gigs if I have to. I'm going to take whatever I can get and start building a list of shows, and I have to start working this network of stuff because it was just experience that I wanted.
Right.
Not because I had anybody telling me that I had to, but I felt like I felt like you did.
It's fair. Get your ass up there. I'm like, I better practice.
No, it was me prodding myself. It was like, dude, you're capable of this. You're the only way you're going to learn and get that experience that you want is to go out there and do it.
Yeah.
And nobody's going to hand it to you, and you can't just sit around expecting shit to fall in your lap. Like, you're going to have to start sending some fucking emails. You're going to have to build a website.
I know. I do that. I do that. I built all of that. I really thought, like, probably after the fair, that would be it. Damaris practiced from May, did the album for my kids, May to September, practiced for the state fair, did the coolest shit I ever did, in my life for my babies, and my babies were there. It was their birthdays. And so that was really super cool. And they got to see their mom make something, and it went somewhere. I sang the national anthem too. And that's scary. But my dad saluted, like he's a vet, and he stood up there and saluted the whole time I sang. It was like, oh my God.
You're crying your eyes out.
I'm like, I'm not looking at you guys. I wasn't looking at anybody. I was hanging on for dear life. But I just figured that would be it. And then I would go back to being mom, and I would go back to maybe gigging 2 times a year like I was doing before. And that didn't happen. People kept
but you weren't hungry. I mean, you didn't get one crack at it, and you weren't like, "Moo, I'd like to do that."
I was scared shitless. No, I mean, the whole reason for, I love music. I love it. It's so inside of me. My dad was in the band. I grew up with it. I can't not play. The moment the guitar was put in my hand, I pretty much wrote a song, and I knew from then on that was that's my best friend, my boyfriend, whatever. And I don't know. I was just really scared, but I feel that now. It took a while. It took me knowing that my personal stories, people started relating to them. I definitely have a demographic, and that is 45 to 60-year-old women that have been scorned. Fine. That's what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Yeah, who gives a shit? I don't.
I love them. I call them my good girl tribe. They follow me around. We have a blast.
Well, I mean, I've had people say some really off color stuff to me about my music, or heard that people have said stuff about my music or whatever.
Oh, yeah, me too. I've had a couple of.
Fuck you. You don't know shit about shit. You don't know anything about what I live with or anything. And you don't, I'm out here trying to create art, and my art in the way that I want to create it. And if you can't get down with that, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it. But if you take
Go
time
play in that sandbox.
If you take time out of your day to just shit on someone's art that's trying, you're just an asshole, man.
Yeah.
You're what's wrong with why we can't use Facebook or Twitter, these platforms to our advantage, because there's a bunch of dickheads flooding it up with bullshit.
There is.
And I don't need more of the fucking 24-hour news cycle when I go to social media.
Mm-hmm. I
don't need it. I've seen it at work for 9 hours a day. I've seen Fox News for 9 hours a day. I don't need it in my Facebook feed. I want to see art. I want to see cool things. I want to see things that people are doing. I want to see people's meals. I want to see a stupid fucking hat you bought. I want to see a funny meme. Let's promote each other's art and use the social media for something useful.
You need to get on TikTok. You will love it. You will laugh. You will laugh. You won't see any of that crazy shit you're talking about. That's why I went over to TikTok. I'm like, I've just got to see people doing dance videos and I'm going to watch videos of little elderly people.
I've watched I disclaimer, I've watched TikTok videos. Like my wife loves TikTok, and cool. If you have a half an hour after we put the boys to bed to just go watch TikToks and
We
laugh.
crack up together. I know.
Yeah, great.
That's my daughter showed
I like
we cracked up together.
some of the things that the TikTokers think are funny. I'm just sitting there and I'm like, huh. She's like, you don't think that's funny? I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I'm such a loser. I belong on Twitter.
Right. It's all right.
I belong on Twitter, Damaris.
Yeah, I know. I hear it. I get it. I probably do too, but I'm starting to absorb it a little bit.
Well, if you're like, I should work. Twitter should pay me to sponsor. They should sponsor me because I'm constantly pushing Twitter on people. But if you're an artist and you're not putting effort into Twitter right now, get on Twitter, Damaris, and
I'm on Twitter. I have like 4 friends, 4 followers.
Start being active. Start following other artists.
I've been thinking about it. I'm like, I need to do it. I changed my name not that long ago to actually have my music name instead of what I originally set it up for, was just to be on Twitter, to tweet.
I'm telling you, if you use it and you network on Facebook or whatever, you will find results. You will find people like you by, finding people that you like and connecting with their followers in the comments and stuff, and like actually using social media how it's supposed to be used. I'm gonna stop with the Twitter commercial right now.
That's okay. I try to do that with Instagram. I'm constantly. It's a lot. It's
You're really good on Instagram. What is Instagram? I'm on Instagram. And when I'm
tagging you?
Yeah. But okay. when I'm posting stuff on Instagram, when I'm posting stories, when I'm doing all this stuff, I feel like I'm just floating it out there into the air, and I don't know I don't know what it's doing.
I don't know what it's doing. I'm just like, so
what is Instagram doing? Is this good? I don't know.
Well, the one thing that I do like about Instagram is that I feel like it allows for you to be more artistic, I guess. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know. I still use the same stuff on my Facebook group page, music page. So I don't know if I'm being more artistic on Instagram or not, but at least I think about it, and I try to make sure I just want to be me. So, I put some shit out this week to promo this. Everything I put out was a little bit different than what I've been wearing, because I wear this cowboy hat a lot. I really do wear that cowboy hat a lot. I like it. And so.
So how do you feel about Facebook ads?
I hate them. I'm never going to do them again. They can suck it, man. Something happened this year. Something's happened in this last year.
Where
I get more engagement. Yeah, I get more engagement just naturally with my friends. I mean, than I do paying for an ad. So I realize that. And I also do social media for other organizations and stuff through my work. Do. Yeah, so I know for sure, like, it's not about my music page. It's what they're doing across all of the, through commerce. I do like with the Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I've dabbled with Facebook ads this year when I started doing my pre-save campaign for the single and things like that. And quite frankly, I had like a budget set aside. I think I had $50 on an ad or something, and I was going to run it for a month just to have it pop up a couple times a day or once a day or whatever, and see if I could get a few pre-saves. Is pretty much all my goal was. But after like 3 days of that thing running, I was looking at the results on how many people had seen it and how many people were actually willing to click through. I was like, cancel ad.
Yeah.
You just missed out on $50. I mean, my $50
every time. The last 2, I noticed it for sure, like 4 ads ago through my work. So like I kept doing it, and I'm like, let me see, and I'm like, damn it. And so they have a prompt on there that says, was this ad helpful? And I'm like, no, you suck. No, fix it. Take it back to a year ago, whatever you decided to do. Well, I think what they probably did is know that everybody's sitting around on social media right now. So they changed the defaults on the ads. I'm not going to mess around with that anymore.
They're starting to make it more complicated. and you have to use like the ads manager and all these other things, and you have to be like a fucking marketing guru to set up ads now. But then I'm not even sure that they're worthwhile. I don't know.
I don't think they are. They used to be. I believe before.
Definitely. I had a Google ads specialist. It was a bullshit email from Google. You know, it was like a spam email or whatever, but it's like, hey, we have a marketing specialist ready to talk to you. And I've ran ads on YouTube before to just try to get traffic to my video. And it got traffic to it, but I was wondering if it was just like bots or whatever, because I
experimented with Instagram and it was all bots, and I'm like, okay, I'll never do that again.
Yeah, yeah.
Why are there a bunch of Russian men liking my page? Now, no.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to do when Through the Cracks comes out. Honestly, I've been thinking about it, and this weekend is my time to make my game plan, because the song comes out Friday, and I'm going to be pushing fucking hard. How
did you get all those listens on Spotify? Like, I mean, I don't know what I think about if I need people to hear I do want them to download it and listen to it and stuff, you know. I just have no idea how to make that happen.
What actually happened is I always push my stuff to independent radio and all this stuff, and people that a lists of stations and lists of indie blogs and all this other stuff, you know, that I've just kept record of, people that I've sent stuff to or people that I do stuff with, and I just send my stuff, you know. And I think this time that I put the song out, hang on. Sorry, my allergies have been bothering me today, and my throat's a little dry. But yeah, so I put my stuff out, and all of a sudden I got a thing. Like one day I looked at my streams, and it was like, you know, I was used to doing what every other artist is used to doing right when you start out. You know, some days you get one stream on your song and you're like, what the fuck am I even doing? You're like, nobody even listens to my shit. And then you remind yourself, you're like, well, I'm not doing this for other people, you know, but I do want people to listen, you know, like I want to put it out there to as many people as I can. And then all of a sudden one day, like I had like 900 streams in a day.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I started looking at my analytics on Spotify, and I got on one of Spotify's, you know, Discover.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Discover this artist playlist. And I'm not sure how it happened. I wish I could tell you the exact thing that I did to make that happen. Can I make it happen again? I'm toiling off in Neverland like every other independent artist on this planet right now.
Well, I think the networking part, yeah, like you talking about that networking part and stuff and who you pitch yourself out to. And that's something that I definitely try to do. You Found Music is someone that's putting playlists together on Spotify. And I saw one of my homegirls on there a couple of weeks ago, and I was excited and, you know, connected with them. And then I see today or yesterday, they put me out on a playlist and I like the playlist. It's excellent. So whoever's, you know, aggregating all of that or putting that together is doing a fabulous job, because it is everybody that I would want to listen to, and I'm on there too. And so that's cool. But I wanted to kind of circle back to, like, did I get the bug? Yeah, I did get the bug, because I didn't think anybody was going to care anymore, but I cared, and I started reaching out to the festivals, because I am totally, like I said, outdoor nature girl. And so the style where I want to play is outdoor festivals all day long. And so I started reaching out to them. They're the ones that told me I didn't have enough people following me, that I needed a website, you know. And so I liked that. So I spent basically after the Kansas State Fair, I did continue to gig and stuff. I spent like about 2 months really concentrating on how to build a website and you know, and how do I actually intentionally try to engage.
You build your own website?
Yes, I did.
It looks very nice. I was checking it out before we went on the show.
Try.
I mean, I like it. I like that. I can definitely tell that you make an effort. You know, I can definitely tell that it's important to you, and it's important to you for you to put your art out there your way. And I like to have people that are doing that, you know, on the show, and I like to network with those types of people. Mm-hmm. So like, I like to be able to, before the show, if I have 20 minutes to sit down at my computer while I'm setting all my stuff up, I like to be able to sit down and check out your bio. I like to be able to sit down and check out somebody's press kit. That
was the first thing that started. Someone said, well, will you send me over your EPK? And I had to Google what that meant.
Your jaw just drops. You're like, what is an EPK?
I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, I should have a website with that.
Yeah. And then, you
it just unraveled.
It feels to me like now when I look at an artist's website, and I know I'm a dinosaur, as far as like being up to date with technology, like I'm not on TikTok or whatever. I still like to go to people's websites.
Yeah, I do too. I love to go to people's websites.
I like to check them out. For me, it's like honestly, when I go to an artist's website, I can tell how serious an artist is by the effort they put into their website. and maybe that's a misleading thing, but sometimes when I look at somebody's page, I'm like, man, that website is dope as shit. Mm-hmm. How did he do that?
Yeah. And I've been, I feel like mine is really the vibe that I am, I look at it now and I'm like, I can see a lot of little tweaks. And so I think it might be timed. But I don't know. We sat out a whole year. So the moment I get the website done in December 2019, and then we closed everything down in March. So it's actually probably I've still been in there, like keeping up with it. Even when I was doing my live streams and stuff, I made sure I acted, that was a gig. I did a gig, and
it's good in my calendar. Mm-hmm. It's good practice for managing your page and learning how to manage your page and all that, I've made myself do it, and I edit mine, but every once in a while I have to pay a pro because sometimes I think I screw around so much on it that I get everything all fucked up. And I'm like, I can't even get things back to normal. So like, I'll be like, help, like the guy that helped me set up the commerce part of my site and stuff like that. I didn't know how any of that worked at first. So he kind of taught me and walked me through it while he was designing my site, and he's going to actually come on the show here soon.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I mean, guys, if you're fucking listening out there, get your website going. It's cheap, and work on making it look good. You can make your website look really good, or if you're in a band with 5 dudes, everyone throw in $25 and pay someone to design it and make it look badass. Like it's going to help you get shows. Because once I built my website and I started sending emails for bookings
definitely
from my website and not just a Gmail account, people say that's bullshit. I'm a testament. It is not.
It's true. It's not bullshit. No, it's great. I feel great whenever I can send them links to my stuff. I am committed to it. I'm happy to say I'm a musician, and if I'm going to say that and mean it and go out and do it, I want to put together the tools behind it to be able to, throw that out there before I get there, so they know, or they know what they're getting. I always want everybody to know what they're getting when they get me, because I don't. Yeah.
That's a solo artist. I think that's what separates us all though, but gives us all a space, like we're all different people. And what works for you probably wouldn't work for me. Some things that work for me probably wouldn't work for you. We have
it however they want, whatever their comfort zone is. I do the media part because I had to do it with work, so I understood it, And I think that might be why. Well, and also everybody was telling me, we don't know who you are. We're not booking you. So like, ooh.
Yeah, it's the things, and it's, hey, how do you get shows? How do you do this? It's like, well, are you ready to send 500 emails and get rejected 499 times to get one? I
actually would like to see how many times I've been rejected, because it's a lot. It's like no skin off my back. I get it. Like, but then also through all of that, they told me what I needed to be doing, and then also the places I did go to loved me, and they had me back multiple times. And
You're making your own luck.
Yeah, so it works. It's fine.
Yeah, you make your own luck. If you're out there doing it, failing, doing it, failing, doing it, failing, you're constantly molding your game plan. You have to be
malleable. That part of it. I love that.
Me too. It's like picking a lock. It's like picking a really complicated lock. Like you're like, okay, I did it that way. Now maybe if I try to address it this way. And one day I was doing some bookings. And I finally was like, I'm just going to tell this guy I'm coming here on this day and I'm playing there. What are we going to do to work it out? And the guy's like, I could probably do like 150. And I was like, booked. And it was then I'm like, holy shit, that worked.
Well, I did that. Like knowing what your worth is. So that was probably really hard for me because my first part getting out there was just like, I need to practice for the fair and everything. So I was just like concentrating on practicing. But like knowing afterwards, when people started wanting to book work, when they're reaching out to me, what do you worth? What do you charge and everything? It's like, I didn't know at first how to have that conversation. I know how to have it now. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes some getting used to it. And as an independent artist, you don't always really know what the market value is until you ask for it.
Right.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still deadheading and taking time away from my family to pursue this. And
everywhere I go is 2 hours away. It's a long time, long drives for me. So
yeah. Well, I told you it wasn't going to take. I told you it was going to feel like 5 minutes. We are over an hour, guys.
Okay.
Episode 12 is. We're going to wrap up now. Damaris, before we go, why don't you tell the people how they can connect with you? Because we're going to have some listeners on Spotify and stuff. Tell them how to connect with you.
Well, you can connect with me at damarismusic.com. That's my website. And on there tells you all about me and every link that I'm linked up to, including my professional profile. I just thought I would throw out my LinkedIn because there's a lot more about me than just the music. And so, but yeah, I've got a Facebook page, Instagram, damaris.kunkler.music, and all digital platforms has my album, Come Sit By My Fire. And I got a single out called My Yellow Rose of Texas, and be looking for Outlaw Kids soon. It's about my dad who was a pot grower.
Do you know what the date? Do you know what the release date is on that?
No, I got to find the picture.
Oh, that's right. That's the one.
I'm so lame. Like someone should slap me.
It's okay. You can come on again. Just tell me if you want.
I know. I'll let you know. It's been recorded for a long time, and that's really bad. But I also did other things. I learned harmonica. I did a video.
You don't have to explain. You don't have to explain to me. I'm a psycho just like you. We're on the same wavelength.
Just give me the picture.
Find the damn picture, Damaris.
I know. All right.
Guys, if you listen on Twitch tonight, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're out there on the digital platforms, I appreciate you. Make sure you download episodes, leave reviews, all that good stuff. Damaris, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. I'm glad we connected. We will definitely do it again. If you ever have anything you want to promote, or if you ever want to come on for a hang or anything, just hit me up and we will set it up.
I think that would be so much fun. I saw you had 4 people on for a happy hour. I'm like,
yeah. If you ever want to just come on and okay. If you'd like to do it, I'll start throwing some of those at you when we do them. It's just kind of a really impromptu thing. I saw
that. It's good. I like it.
I would love to have you on. But yeah, thank you so much. And I appreciate your efforts for promotion. And this is just the beginning, because I'll edit this, get it sounding pretty, get an intro and outro on it, and then I'll send you links for you to share, and it'll be good content for you.
Absolutely. I totally appreciate it. Thank you, Dusty.
Of course. I appreciate you. Guys, episode 12 in the books. Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Stay off of the 24-hour news cycle. Don't drive yourself crazy. Pour yourself a drink, listen to some music, and relax. We've got a new...
Out of a mason jar.
Yeah.
Wine in a mason jar. That's what you're
Wine in a mason jar, whiskey in a glass, beer in a bottle, whatever it may be. Episode 12 is over. Thank you guys very much. I will see you all soon on DG and Friends. All right, guys, that's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show on your podcast platform of choice to be notified of new episodes, and leave a positive review if you dig what you're hearing. Guys, I would love to hear from you on social media. Let's get connected at DustyGrant57 on all platforms. All right, y'all, that's it for now. See you next time on DG and Friends.
It's a new year, and with T-Mobile, it's not about how far apart we are. It's about how close we can be. So we're bringing out our best deal. Right now, get the iPhone 12 on us on every single plan with eligible iPhone trade-in.
So I can FaceTime with my sister in Savannah.
That's right, the iPhone 12 on us on every plan. All on America's 5G leader in coverage. T-Mobile.
24 monthly bill credits and a new line plus tax. If you cancel, credit stop and balance on required finance agreement may be due. Contact us for well-qualified buyers. Qualifying consumer plan required. See coverage and offer details at T-Mobile.com.
15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Is that Shakespeare?
Nope, it's Geico.
Yeah, that's Shakespeare from one of his unpublished works. Oh, it be not for awakening. Nay, giveth thou the berries. For 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Nope, it's from Geico, because they help save people money.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but Geico got it from Shakespeare.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.